Welcome to the video. We're gonna be doing a tier list of all the games that I played in 2022, just everything that I finished on stream. There are some games that I did play on stream that weren't part of anything. It was just me playing it, things like Tekken, things like Street Fighter, testing out the KOF beta. But yeah, we're not gonna be including those. This is just ones that games that kind of have like a single player or a narrative thing that I was trying to follow, that I just wanted to experience on stream with you guys. So let's get right into it, I guess. So welcome to the TV. We have the tier list on the TV right now. Up at the top we have the game of the year. We have great, good, fine, and man, because might be a game or two that just gives me that reaction. Let's go ahead and start. So we'll start with the first game that I played on stream, that I finished on stream, Super Mario Galaxy. That's in the great tier, putting it in the great tier. I did enjoy it. After I was done, I definitely wanted to go back into it. Overall, it's a really good Mario 3D Mario game, but I don't feel like I have the love for it like I do Sunshine and Odyssey. Obviously Odyssey is like a bigger playground, but Sunshine, even the hub worlds, I did like it a lot more, just that there were different places to go. You kind of had that with the observatory where the different levels you would unlock, but it still, I don't know, it still kind of felt so closed in that I just wanted something bigger. So yeah, Mario Galaxy is going to go ahead and grade. The next game we finished on stream was Psychonauts 2. I'm going to put that right behind Mario Galaxy. Psychonauts 2 was a really good game. Definitely as a platformer, liked it a lot. I played it one time like way back and I just got lost. Like I wasn't sure what I was doing, but this time around we're actually playing it on stream. I paid attention more and was able to follow everything, all the power-ups that you get. Really fun to use. There was just one part in the game where, you know, there's a bunch of different like floating platforms and stuff, and there are these detective looking guys. I did not like that at all. Maybe it's just because it was easy for me to get lost. Still a very good platformer, still very fun. Psychonauts going up in great. Next one is Pokemon Legends Arceus. Pokemon Legends Arceus came out in the end of January. We played it from January to February. I think I'll put it above Psychonauts. The thing is, I really love Psychonauts in Mario Galaxy because I'm just a platformer guy, but Pokemon Legends Arceus was like the first time they did a game of that. The game was just addicting, just the way that they made it, like the way you could sneak up on Pokemon and then throw Pokeballs at them, especially the throwing mechanic. It's like Pokemon Go, but on crack. That's the best way I can describe it. Very fun experience. The music was really good. I just didn't care for what a lot of the characters were talking about. Narrative was kind of whatever to me. I don't know if it's just because a lot of stories in games I'm kind of like whatever, but this game I found myself like just constantly like skipping dialogue and stuff. Like I got really bored. But yeah, just the gameplay alone really held it up. I remember the first time streaming it, had that thing open for like 7 hours. Like the first 2 streams of it were 7 hours a piece, and that was a lot to go through. But yeah, shout out to Game Freak for doing something different, kind of executing it well. It's a very solid entry. Right, and then going into March, we had Kirby and the Forgotten Land. This is the first 3D Kirby. This is their first adventure into 3D. I really enjoyed this game. Well, I mean, I'm already a big Kirby fan, and the thing is, Kirby games are kind of easy, kind of like a breeze to get through. They're notorious for people being like, oh, this is a baby's game. I mean, Coney says it, but I wish we had something that was a little more open, like kind of like Mario Odyssey. But it makes sense that they made it the way that they did. The structure of having smaller levels for you to access, and then I guess it wouldn't make sense to just have like a really big land and then objectives and the distance or whatever. Still a really good game, really good music. It was really cute too. I didn't get to do the post game. I know there's a bunch of stuff and like some story there too that I really wanted to do. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this over Pokemon and Psychonauts. Next game is gonna go up in good. That is Wario World. We got to play this in April. I got to play this on April. Finally got a GameCube. Wanted one, so I have games both in Japanese and English. Wario World, I was playing it in Japanese. I just feel like there wasn't going to be a narrative that I really needed to know, so you know, it would be fun to play it in Japanese, and it came with my GameCube. I did look through a walkthrough just to make like 100% complete it, but it was actually really easy to do. I think it only took me about like 8 hours to actually complete it. I mean, the first 4 hours were me just trying to find everything on my own. And then the last 4 hours was just using a guide and kind of blasting through the game. So it was a really fun game. The reason why I put it in good is platforming and everything is not crazy. There's nothing like very specific to Wario, comparing it to, you know, the Wario Land games on like the Game Boy Advance. Like there's a lot more personality in those. Not that these weren't bad either, it's just even though I did enjoy the game, I just felt like I wish Wario did other stuff in this game that he does and other things. You know, he has like a motorcycle and WarioWare or something like that. But yeah, still a good game. Goes up in good. Next game we're gonna have in good. And the reason why I have this in good, well, I think I'll put it above Wario World. Mega Man Legends is something that I really love. Like, I love the music. It's low because it's an old game. It's obviously it's low poly, but it's also kind of cel shaded, and it looks really good. Like, the aesthetics and the design of the game really appealed to me. It's just the tank controls do kind of hold it back a bit. There's some parts in the game that kind of make you go back and forth when you don't really need to, but you know, it's also a dungeon crawler, so it makes sense. You gotta go like adventure and stuff. Yeah, it's still a really good game. It's one of those games that I had when I was a kid, but I've never beaten it, so this was kind of like closure for like mini-me. So yeah, we're gonna have Mega Man Legends up in good. Well, am I gonna buy Mega Man Legends 2, or am I gonna play the Tron Bond game? Maybe not. I forgot to say, we also played this for Mega May, and it was actually a lot shorter than I thought it would be. So for the rest of that month, we got to play Sonic R for the Sega Saturn. I have the Sonic Gems collection for GameCube. Sonic R, fun racing game. The music's really good. The tank controls, you know, trying to maneuver, not great. They've definitely built upon like trying to do racing type things, even like Sonic Riders. This was pretty cool. The characters they included, Metal Sonic, those were all really cool to see together too. Just gonna bring it down to fine because there's a lot of positives, but you know, just gameplay doesn't age well. It is what it is. Digimon Survive. I'm gonna bring this up, just put it right behind Mega Man Legends. So we got to play Digimon Survive in July. Didn't have anything for June. I suggest if you're into visual novels, then you play this game. Me, not so much. I'm not a visual novel person. Like, I do love Ace Attorney, stuff like that, but Digimon Survive just felt like the visual novel was heavier. So maybe if you're like a big visual novel person, this is gonna hit for you. And it has the RPG stuff, you know, the tactic stuff. I did enjoy it. That was fun, but I wish we got more of like the tactic stuff, because in the beginning of the game there's so much dialogue and exposition. It takes so long to finally get your partner. But yeah, overall it's a good game. It's gonna go right behind Mega Man Legends, just because it was kind of hard to play, but I definitely love Digimon, so it has a soft spot, and I would put it ahead of Wario World. Next game that we got to play was in September, Bomberman Hero. So I bought a Nintendo 64 for reasons. It was a Nintendo 64 that was modded, so we got to play Bomberman Hero on the Nintendo 64. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in fine. So it's low poly, it has great music, you know, it's a character that I like. Bomberman Hero was like the first 3D Bomberman. This was Konami's like, oh, let's transition into doing 3D platformer stuff. It was okay. Physics are a little wonky sometimes, but you know, for what they were trying to do, I could see how they were trying to translate like, oh, like throwing bombs and stuff like that. The soundtrack does hold it up for me. I love Bomberman, he's cute. Yeah. Then October, we got to continue on the Nintendo 64 for Castlevania 64. This is a good game. This was the transition to 3D for Castlevania, and I really did enjoy it. I believe I was playing as Carrie. Carrie actually has like a spell if you charge it. Projectile. If you charge the projectile, it just like homing attacks, and it made a lot of it really easy to play. Maybe that's why I had a lot of fun with it. The theming, maybe it was also the theming. Like, I do love the Belmonts and stuff, and Dracula thing, and then fighting different monsters within the castle and stuff like that. Old Hollywood monsters. So yeah, just really good. Just a pretty good game. I might try to play the other 3D Castlevanias that's on PS2 and Xbox, because I did end up buying an Xbox this year too. If we want to bring up the next game, we got to play Nightmare Before Christmas: Oogie's Revenge. This is actually going in, and because this game, at first, it was okay. I heard a lot of things about it. I was like, oh, it's kind of like Devil May Cry. It's kind of like this and that. Capcom made it. So, you know, you remember back in the day when Capcom like got their hands on like a property and then made like a game for it, and it was really good. It's tough. You start out with the game with his consecutive attack, or his combo attack is just 2 hits going with like a whip thing. You can upgrade it to have combos later, but the combo is still kind of slow and sluggish and everything. He has different forms that you get later that are pretty cool, but I'm not too crazy about switching between the forms and having to get the currency to charge them and whatever. I really just did the secret codes to unlock the combos. The music is okay too. Every time you run into enemies, it screams at you, Halloween, Halloween, you know the song, and it starts just transitions into that song, and that happens like every couple minutes. There's no other fighting music, but just imagine that same battle theme happening for a couple hours of trying to play that on stream. So you just kind of get them singing the same shit over and over again. There's a lot of cool things about it, you know. I mean, obviously atmosphere, you get the popular characters, the iconic, you know, places from the movie. They kind of expand on like, oh, you can go down here. Oh, there's like a secret area under this place, whatever. Oh, this is how this connects to this area in the game. And that was kind of exciting to me when I got to see all that stuff. It's just there's so many other negatives that kind of bring the game down that just make it not fun. But maybe it's also because I had like a different vision when I heard about the game and when I saw some like clips and gameplay. I'm kind of cheating of including it on the tier list because I actually didn't finish this game. So maybe I will go back to it at some point. Maybe if I get back into it again now I know, I could probably have like a better time playing it around this time. We'll see if I ever go back to this game. Then in November, because after I got birthday money in October, because my birthday is in October, I bought a Wii U. I bought a lot of consoles that year. I didn't really mean to. But yeah, we bought a Wii U and we got to play Star Fox Zero. This is gonna go in fine. Maybe I'll put it above Sonic R, because you know Sonic R is just mostly a racing game. It doesn't have a lot to it. Star Fox Zero, cool to have like a modern Star Fox game. The thing is, the Wii U controls that they tried to make kind of awkward. There were a lot of times where I was playing this game that just have a hard time controlling it, trying to figure that out, trying to do like the extra stuff. The game's also pretty short too, so you know it doesn't overstay its welcome in that regard. But you know, with the controls that it has and all those things that you want to do, it's not that much worth it. You know, yeah, I can imagine a lot of people not wanting to play this game, but you know, it looks good. Music is good. It's a reboot of the series, which they keep doing for some reason, but I don't hate it. It was nice to see Star Fox again. Hopefully they bring it back stronger. I would love to see that. Or if they end up re-releasing Star Fox Zero on the Switch and it's just better. Star Fox Zero is, it's gonna stay there in the tier list. And then in November, we're waiting for this game to finally come out, Pokemon Violet. There's a lot that I love about it. Like, the music is good, the whole connected open world thing, all the different characters and the story and the narrative and everything. I actually really like the narrative made these characters, or like the way that you're interacting with them, or the way that they're telling their story. But there's just so much in this game that's just wrong. Glitches, frame drops, and just things clipping or whatever. Hearing about people's games crashing, because like there's a lot about this game is built off of, you know, the mechanics from Pokemon Legends Arceus. Kind of wish they didn't take away the catching Pokemon. That did a lot for me, but because Pokemon Violet is the way that it is, I'm gonna have to drop that down to fine. I'll put it all the way at the top of fine. Just the fact that this is a company that could do better. You know that they have the money for it, but it's fine. Not gonna put it in great, not gonna put it in good. Not too many negatives. It's just the negative that it has is just such a big thing. So the next game, I actually didn't play this one on stream. This is like the one game that I finished off stream, or that I didn't play at all on stream. There's a lot that I like about it. Just the way that the open world stuff. I guess we could talk about how all the different obstacle things were cool, but you know, there are the dimension levels where those levels played like classic, like 3D Sonic. But I kind of wish there were more of those elements in the main open world. I guess you can kind of see them, like they're also kind of making something new, but the different worlds kind of come off as, oh, there is a grass area, there's the desert area, and then there's like a foggy volcano, ashy, smoky area. That's kind of it. It's not horrible, but I just wish they had the personality of, say, like a Green Hill Zone, just things like that. I kind of wish they did something, a unique identity for the levels in this game. Maybe I am being a little too harsh, but yeah, the gameplay of this game really saves it. Just the fact that we're also getting a lot of free DLC. But you know, if you wait for like a good Sonic game, how many times Sonic fans were kind of suffering. Really hope Sega just continues to build on this, which is why I'm gonna place this game actually in my game of the year. Yeah, so this was definitely the best game I played in 2022, I would say, especially comparing to whatever here is on the list. It could have been Pokemon Violet, honestly, but just the performance of that game just knocks that down. There's my tier list. That's what we have. All right, yeah, so that's my tier list. Really hoping I get this video done in January, if I remember to like edit this shit. 2023, hopefully I play good games. So we'll see you guys for pulling up to the video. Sure to catch my stream. I'll see you guys again soon. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Peace.